I'm recording this a little bit ahead, and I was wondering if this shirt was out of season, but it's Natsume's Book of Friends, and there are yokai, so of course not. Hey! It's Romania Black, and I'm super excited, and I'm recording this ahead because we have not one episode this week, but two. So I'm recording this on the weekend to give myself a little bit more time to be able to discuss and edit and all that fun stuff. So we're looking at episodes 32 and 33 of the series as a whole, but also season 3, episode 6 and 7. So which places us almost at the halfway point after this with season 3, which is like a mind-blowing experience. I'm like, what? It does not feel real. Like, that does not seem possible. So, but it is, and here we are. So what do we do with that? But I'm super excited. I cannot wait to dive into these episodes and see what happens. As we've been going through season 3, Natsume has had a lot of crazy encounters. He's also been, as we talked about last week, sort of addressing all of the skeletons in his own closet, dealing with his past in conjunction with his present, and figuring out ways to move forward into the future. So good for Natsume for being so well adjusted. But yeah, I've been really, really excited about this, and I went on a Instagram. It was actually for another series that I'm watching. I was looking up something through Instagram about it, but in that process, I also came across some pictures people had posted on Instagram, and they weren't spoilery, but they were just of like them at a Japanese cafe, and they had a little figurine of Madara by all the sweets and everything, and it was super cute. I was like, oh, I feel now when I see Madara and Natsume figurines out in public, I'll be like, oh, I know what series that is, and it won't just be like, what is that? Who is that little lucky cat? So I'm super excited about that. But yeah, the moderators told me I needed to watch these 2 episodes together, and who am I to say no to that? So we're going to be watching episodes 32 and 33 together. Before we start, I want to give a very quick shout out over to our philanthropy tier over on Patreon, who are super kind and helpful and help donate to the cause each month. And I want to give them a shout out. So special thanks to Alex Cornejo, to Anime Annie, to Be Happy, to BBT, to Bryant Reed, to Damage3245, to Dana, to Danger Zone, to Danny Donmai, to Devorin, to Destiny Marie, to Ichu, to Eric, to Fisho, Ghostly Turnip, Elfreya, Liam Poles, as well as Lyndon, Matthew Palfiniere, Murphew, Nameless Monster, Nicholas, No Nickname, Sunspots, Shimoyama, Trails, Translucent Men, Alexander Q, and Maroney W. Thank you all so much for your support. I greatly appreciate it. All of my love. Anyway, so the good news is my internet's back on. Yay. Before it came back on, I did have Edgar help me to get episode 6 downloaded, and I'm going to be looking at episode 7 on streaming. I kind of am glad I'm doing it that way, because for this being a 2-parter, this will allow me to watch episode 6 and go back through it, and then be able to watch episode 7 and go back through it too. Or here's my 2 thoughts. I'm either going to do one or 2 things. I'm either going to look at episode 6, talk with you all about it, and then watch episode 7, and in the link down below, there'll be the picture-in-picture one spliced together. Or, depending on the contents of this episode, I may just go ahead and watch episode 7, and then we'll go back and have one giant discussion at the end. We'll just see the contents of this episode, and if we need to immediately watch the next episode or not, and go from there. But in any case, we are going to start Natsume's Book of Friends, episode 32 and 33, and we're going to do that here in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Yeah. Real quick while we're doing this, I am going to check my audio track. Oh, good. Yep, so we're good. I was watching 2 other shows on the channel. I was watching March Comes In Like a Lion, which you should totally watch in conjunction with this. It's great. And I was watching The Apothecary Diaries, also amazing. And both of those series start out with like English language tracks. I was like, but why? And the other ones start out with Japanese. It's the weirdest thing. But I'm excited for this. That line is always so hard because it's talking about him wanting to hear Reiko and chasing after her memory to kind of like learn more about her. Yeah. Uh, I'm honestly already looking forward to the manga again. I know there's still so much time left before that happens, but I am really looking forward to it. Each one, each one. It's like the English singers who sing the English versions of the songs and translate the lyrics. There's some I've heard that are really, really good. There's this is such a weird genre comparison, but Chainsaw Man, one of their EDs in the back room, there's an English artist that did a cover of it. It's so good. Oh, bring that melodica. How's it going, soundtrack? I'm getting flashbacks. A summer festival. Ah! Give him all the squid. Shut up, you fat cat. This middle-aged cat. A middle-aged cat. Aw, they're like, keep your cat away from our food. Ah! Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. Oh. Well, excuse you. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh my god. Oh shit. Yeah. Creepy. And he's got blood all over his face. That's a biohazard, sir. Is she bleeding on purpose to curse him, or is she injured? And that would explain why she bumped into him. Oh, and the umbrella. Ooh, that which is not human. Oh, I like that end card. That title card's crazy. Oh my god. Oh, these are yokai. Oh my god. Oh shit. Oh! Is it Notori? Or who is this? Oh. Oh my god. Oh! Oh! Hi! Oh, we're not gonna get to see who it is. Oh. Don't say that. Come on now. Really? You're quite heavy. Oh, she thought he was a yokai. Oh my god! Oh my god! No! How is he alive? How is he alive? Oh my god. Oh shit. Oh, Reiko. Wow. Wrong. My grandma. Well. Okay. Against what? Their blood drawn? I knew the Red Cross was held up, but really? Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, I thought for a second like Notori was there, but he wouldn't have strangled Natsume. Right? Yeah, why? How spooky. This is just missing Halloween. Fair. Ooh. Ah. We got that found family vibe going. Oh, you're tugging at his heartstrings. You're playing him like a fiddle. She was like a chicken, Natsume. Ah. Hmm. Well, I'm not like my grandmother in that regard. Uh. So. Oh. Oh. Well, now you really want to get him involved. Oh. But surely not. Didn't you make the right decision? Ooh. Oh, man. Aww. Oh. Aw. Oh. Oh. Hmm. But possibly. Hmm. Well, we don't know if there's no doubt. Oh, that's him. Ooh. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. And Madara's like, did you not just hear me say this is bad? What's with this vampire? Oh, my God. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Oh, he's got a giant-ass blade. Oh. Oh, well, hi, Madara. Is that Suabe? That sounds like Suabe. Oh. These are the Matobas that Notori was talking about. Yep. Oh my God. Well, that sounded like Suabe. Oh, wow. It is him. Yeah, no, it's not a good idea. Ooh. Ah! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, okay, it was her. Oh no. Oh. That sandbag! Oh. Oh, oh no. Notori, you getting in on this too? Oh. Oh my god, like everything's broken in there. Oh my god, what the fudge? Oh, okay, so that wasn't her. That was one of them. Oh my god. Ew. Ew. Oh, they're like spirited away. Gross. In his khakis and everything. He got done modeling for Old Navy and came to rescue Natsume? What? Oh. Oh. Yeah. Mm. He has red eyes just like the Mataba guy. Uh-huh. So is this the norm? Hmm. Oh, good. Oh, well, isn't that convenient for you? Hmm. For free? Sure. Oh, that's like, and you're not even going to charge? Uh-huh. I was expecting an older person too. Ah! Oh. Oh. Really? Okay. How does that work with the eye patch and the long hair, Notori? That's some world building mysteries. Hmm. Oh my god. Unloved! Ah! Standing right in front of your own sign? Oh. Oh. Uh-huh. Okay, that was back in that one episode. Hmm. Wow, I love the backdrop. Huh. I didn't know he was a singer too. Ooh. Oh. Interesting. Shit. That's why he's been there. That's why he's been there. Shit. Yeah. Oh. Shit. Oh my god. Mmm. Well. Oh my God. Oh! 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 Oh my God! A man-made one. Oh. Oh. Yeah. That's so weird. Well, that like opens up a whole nother case. Huh. Hmm. Well, I slept though. Hmm. Hmm. Well. Oh my God. Oh. Oh my God. He looks fine to me. What is this soundtrack? Okay. Okay. I like that Natsume's like, let me talk to the yokai while you deal with the fangirls. Ah! How does it? Notori always ends up planning these dates for him and Natsume to go on. She's like, him? Strange. Ah, there we go. There we go. Well, that was fast. Oh my God. Oh my God! Right behind you! Yes! No! Oh my God! No! That is like a trap! Shit! Oh! We're gonna go with that tried and true. Oh my God. With the bucket and everything. Oh my God. Wait, are they forced to stay in the same room? Oh my God. Make yourself right at home. Oh my God. Was there just one bed? True. Ah! Where are you going? Oh. Oh. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh my god. That why? No! Creepy! No! Nope. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh shit! No! God damn it! No! I thought it was him. Ritual? What? Oh. What in the world? Oh my god. Well, shit. Oh shit! Like, I'm glad punching works against them. Oh my god. Oh. Well, shit. Oh my god, no! Damn it! Oh no! Oh no! When did this series suddenly pick up? Oh no! Oh my god. Look, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go straight for episode 7. And we're gonna come back. And we're gonna come back whenever it's done. And we're gonna come back and talk about both of them together. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do, right? That makes sense to everyone, doesn't it? I think it does. But I need to know. I can't wait. We're gonna have to go and then go back through the whole episode set together. But oh my god. So yeah, let me get this pulled up here real quick and get this all set to go. When did Natsume's Book of Friends get this crazy? When did that happen? Right? What? Okay, we're gonna do Japanese. Also, the streaming service now has added content warnings, which we'll talk about here real quick in this. They've added content warnings for the English dub, which is hilarious to me, but not for not for the rest of it. Not for the original Japanese subs, though. All right, so we're going to start episode 7 because I can't wait. And we'll talk about them both together here at the end. And we're going to start this in 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh. They had a content warning. It said for children 12, it said for people 12 and older. And then it said like there was profanity being used. I was like, they make Natsume sound so vulgar. Ever since we got introduced to the Exorcist in season 2, I was waiting for them to make more of an appearance, but the Matoba clan with him definitely is. And that is so Suabe. You cannot tell me that's not Suabe's voice. I was like, sure thing. Of course, and he would play a character like that. I need to know more about him. What the deal with his eye patch is. All of that. Also, this is like the biggest stake so far for Natsume. Like, Natsume's been... I'm more concerned about Natsume with the human antagonist than I am at all with the yokai. Which is... I don't know why my dogs are barking so much. Hey, you too! Being dorks. Barking for no reason. Yeah, be nice, gremlins. We got Natsume Book of Friends to watch. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh. Without his glasses. Oh no! Oh my god. Ooh. Oh my god. Mm-hmm. So he's the one that used it as bait. Oh. You didn't want them to be used. Hmm. No, I wanted to have a date with... Oh god, Natsume. Oh. Oh my god. Shit. Oh my god. Ruin the bed and everything. Exorcist. Ah! Ooh. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. Well, why would you want to do that? Oh. Oh. Mmm. Mmm. Innocent yokai. Oh. 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 Eaten. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Oh, shit. Oh my god. Oh, that's what you're saying. Oh no. Yes, very different. Very different from Notori. He could get some modeling gigs with that appearance, though. Oh my god. Huh. Yeah, that would not be good at all. But he has bad depth perception. Oh, shit! Oh. Yeah, bye, bitch! Oh, shit! Oh, Natsume! Natsume! How'd you not break 6 bones? Oh. How'd you not break every bone in your body? Oh my god. Oh, I'm really scared of the implications of all of this, but oh. Ha! Hiragi's like Hiragi's so calm. Oh my goodness, you two. Hey, you two, come here. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh. And the cat ball. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Oh, Hiragi, why aren't you calling me, Tori? Of course. Shady guy! Now it's screw up! Oh my god. These two! These two! Sir, I'm sure that's a cat! Is that the yokai that they're looking for? Is it her? Oh. It's interesting he's using like the sensory with the feathers and everything. Natsume just gave a beat down to these yokai. Oh, is it her? Oh shit. How does Natsume keep ended up in these caves? Ah, yeah. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Oh my god! Oh! Thank goodness! Oh shit! Oh, and Tori's here too! Ah. Oh. Oh! A witch? Oh. The crow. That's what it is. Oh my god. Oh shit! Oh my god! Well! 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 Oh! No big deal! Oh my god. Holy shit. That's blood. Oh. Ooh. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Oh my god, witches and exorcists. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm glad Madara's like, I can fit in here. We're fine. Huh? Oh my god. Oh shit. Oh. Oh. Oh my god. Damn, he's an archer too, but he has an eye patch. Uh-huh. Hmm. Hmm. Oh. Oh. Oh, poor Natsume. Oh, shit. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh, yeah, the arrow. Oh. Oh. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh my god. But there's the blood they needed. Ew, they look like little sperms. No. Oh shit. Well. Oh my god. Oh my god. The thing with the, oh my god, is that the cliff or is that something over its head? Well, why not? Oh my god. Oh my god, that's so creepy! Madara's like, well, of course it's powerful. Oh my god. Ugh. Oh my god. He's gonna try to eat her, I'm sure. Oh my god, no, he's gonna eat you, girl. Oh my god. She just got yeeted across that cave. He's like, I just want out of here. You never change. Yeah. Oh my God. Ooh. Oh. Oh. And not doing anything. Interesting. I feel like Notori's family like specializes in stealing. It takes two to make a thing go right. Oh. Oh, him whimpering. I don't like that at all. Oh. 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 Hmm. Uh-huh. Well, you don't know, girl, the power of love, apparently. Oh, I'm sure not a waste of time for you. Damn it. No! No! Leave Natsume alone! Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Oh. Oh. Uh-huh. Oh. Well, wasn't worth your time, huh? Damn it, no. Not good. Not good, Cotton. Not good. Ah. Ooh. Ooh, that's such a question for him, especially. Oh my gosh. Natsume's like, why did this guy get complicated? Why did this guy get really complex? Oh. Oh. Damn it. I'm real scared now. Oh. Hiragi. Mmm. Okay. Okay. Oh. Oh. Oh, yeah. Some people are like that. Wow. Oh. Ooh, okay. I'm different from them. Oh my God, I am terrified. I am so nervous after this episode. Ah! I'm so nervous because of the implications of all this. Mm-mm. No way, Jose. What was this? Oh, sorry. I was like, there's like a little 12 and plus rating. Oh my God. Okay, there's just, I'm assuming just in credits. Ah! Ah! We'll watch the end credits since we didn't do it for the last episode. I am going to double check real quick and make sure it's Suabe. I think it's Suabe as the voice actor. It sounds exactly like him, but I want to be sure. Sometimes I get the voice actors confused, but damn it, Matoba. I'm really nervous now because they're gonna try to come after Natsume and bitches like that. What did the Fujiwaras get involved? No. Ugh. Well, crud muffin. We for sure need to talk about these episodes. Well. Oh no! Ah! Oh, this is look, y'all. Look, no, let's go back to happy times. Let's go back to happy times with Natsume when it was just him and his buddies, and oh my gosh, the yokai. Oh! No, this is not necessarily a bad turn, but this is a major turn in the story, right? I feel like I did go and look up, and it is Suabe that voices Matoba. Mm-hmm. Yes, we'll talk about that here a little bit. You know how hard it is for me? I don't complain a lot on this channel, but do you know how hard it is for me? I'm in season 3. Midway through season 3 of this series. And you all are on Discord and the comments being like, oh, season 7. And I'm over here. I have to slowly but surely scramble and scrape my way through this series. Do you know how hard it is for me not to spoil myself? Do you know how hard it is to avoid spoilers for this series? It's damn hard. Because when I wanted to look up Junichi Suabe, I had to be like, I just want to see the voice actor's name. Don't tell me anything else. And that was all I looked up. And it was so tempting. I was like, it was so tempting to look up what else he's in. And I didn't do it. So y'all should be proud of me. Give me a cookie. This feels like a turning point in the series. It really does. And the reason I say that and why I was so like, during the ED is because the moment that Nanase was like, we found him, Reiko's grandson, the moment she went up to Notori and was like, we've not been coming to this town because you've been taking all of the missions. And I was like, oh my God. Now, so we need to talk about that. So we have Notori over here. Oh my God, no, I used this the other night. I didn't get the lid back on it properly. Well, that sucks. Anyway. So over here we have Notori, right? And we'll put Matoba over here. Natsume's Book of Boyfriends. We'll talk about that. But yeah, so Notori has basically been taking all of the missions in Natsume's town. And now, we talked about it in the last season, like, why would he do that? Why would Notori take all of the missions? What's the point of that? And, we joked around being like, well, it's because he likes Natsume. That is part of it. I don't think that he dislikes Natsume. I think that it is part of it. Although this episode did make me want to ship Hirage and Notori quite a lot, which we'll talk about as well. But mainly the main reason why it makes sense now when Madara in the manga was like, you could just go somewhere else. And he's like, well, I wish I could. And it's like, well, why can't you? And now we find out that he's been trying in some regard to protect Natsume from drawing the attention of the Matoba clan. Because this is the part that makes me terrified, is that if Nanase and them go to his hometown, they're going to stir up trouble if they try to recruit him, or if they try to like figure out ways in which because we'll talk about it in this episode set, but Natsume, the manga talks about the fact that Natsume can do like Reiko, and he can actually, we might as well put him in on here, with Natsume, he can actually physically interact with the yokai. So he can physically interact with the yokai. And what that means is he can punch them. But that's more than a lot of the exorcists can do. A lot of the exorcists, they can barely even see the yokai, much less touch them. So a lot of them have to like subjugate the yokai through spells or talismans or blood rituals. But Natsume just has to be like, hey man, what's up? And like tap their shoulder and then like shake their hands and we're all good. So that in turn makes Natsume a little bit special. And I like that. I'm usually like, if you're going to do a chosen one narrative, then I kind of want it to be a little bit different than the stereotypical chosen one narrative. And I do like the way that this series does it, where it's almost like a clan thing, like a genetic thing, where Natsume's grandmother could do this. Natsume's inherited the same abilities as his grandmother, right? So that part's interesting to me. But if the exorcists knew about Reiko, about Reiko, and I'm sure Reiko, I don't know if Reiko was involved with the exorcists. I don't think she would be. I think she'd be like, I don't want to do anything with this. I don't like humans. I don't like yokai. She almost seemed like neither at all. But I'm sure she got involved, and I'm sure they heard of her or tried to use her or whatever. And who knows what she did. I'm sure we'll find out as this series goes on. But my fear is that they're going to try to come recruit him or get him to come help them. And what's going to happen is one of two things. Either it's going to cause the Fujiwaras and everybody to find out about Natsume's secret, which I don't think they'll care. I think they'll be like, we support you, Natsume. You're our kid. It's fine. But what I'm afraid is going to happen is that they're going to be put into danger, and Natsume's going to have to leave them. He's going to have to go away to keep him safe. And I'm like, he's just spent the last 2.5 seasons getting to where he's comfortable here. But I don't know, because this series has like so many seasons. I don't know if maybe he'll be like, okay, I'm going to stay in my hometown, but now y'all know my secret and they're going to work through it. I don't know if he's going to go off for a period of time and then come back. I'm getting ahead of myself, but this episode opened up so many possibilities of where the story could go. I can see now why there's 7 seasons, because it's like it could do a whole lot of things, right? But oh my God, this episode was crazy. This episode set was crazy. So when it started out, I thought it was going to be very much like the season finale of season 1, where they go to the festival and Madara gets kidnapped by Sasada again. But no, that is not what happened at all. Instead, they get their little squid, which is cute. Madara had a lot of really cute moments here. And Natsume ends up running into the bleeding yokai. The whole blood on him, like the bleeding yokai, it looked like he got wine spilt on him. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of an episode of Sailor Moon. It's one of my favorite episodes. It's from the first season, and it's Sailor Moon, so why am I spoiling for you all? But in any case, Serena or Usagi, she has like a love-hate relationship in season 1 with Darien, who is aka Tuxedo Mask. It's very easy to figure it out. And but they at the time don't know who each other are. And he's gotten injured, and she sees him and she smacks him on the back, and she's like, oh, come on, you silly, and smacks him on the back, and he's like, and he like keeps walking, and then she looks down her hand, and it's like ingrained into my childhood brain, but she looks down her hand, there's blood all over it, and she's like, oh, he's hurt. And that's what this scene reminded me of. I instantly thought of that scene with Tuxedo Mask, only it's Natsume, and he goes to figure out what's going on and ends up at the shack where all of where all of these yokai are getting their blood drawn. You know, crazy stuff. And he's like, what is this? And there's just injured yokai everywhere. It's like a scene from Saw. And so he goes, and of course, Natsume tries to help and figure out what's going on. And then from behind him, Matoba tries to strangle him. Now, I think in this moment, I think it's very important to note that Matoba did try to strangle him. So immediately tried to strangle Natsume. So if he thought Natsume was a yokai, because maybe he did because he didn't expect a human. Here's the thing. He probably didn't expect a human to go up to a yokai and be like, hey, bro, are you all right? He would never think a human would do that. So he probably thought Natsume was a yokai, which with him trying to strangle Natsume means that he can touch the yokai. He doesn't necessarily need a spell to interact with them. But the one guy goes after him, and that's when the bird yokai manages to rescue him. Okay. And so then, I love when she figures out he's a human, she just drops him. My only suspension of disbelief is how did Natsume not break every bone in his body this episode set? Because when he landed on Madara is a fat, plumpy cat, but there ain't no way that broke his fall to where he did not die. And when he jumped out the window and landed in the trees, how he didn't break 6 bones, I can't wait to look at the manga to see what we get from that. But anyway, I love the idea of Reiko being imagined. Here's the thing. Reiko being imagined with all the rose petals and looking like a demon. She has a robe on and a kimono. So I don't know if Reiko was tied to the Exorcist in the past. I don't know. She kind of looks like a witch in that one flashback, which there are witches now. There are exorcists. There are witches. Just open the world building up. Why don't we? So I don't know if Reiko's going to be a witch. We'll see. And then they're like, no matter how frail you look, a Natsume is a Natsume. That's also something that is addressed in this episode set, is the idea of bloodlines and clans and the idea of generations. So the Natsumes, as we come to find out, are considered to be a strong line in terms of the yokai and humans, right? And the Tories, I feel like, were they connected to barriers and talismans? And then there's something with the Matoba clan that we'll get into that they talked about at the end. But it basically is talking about generational bonds and generational abilities passing on. So she says there's a yokai. There have been yokai who've been gravely injured and had their blood drawn in random attacks. And so Natsume, of course, is like, what's going on? And she says that when she came there were all the yokai, and then there was the man with the kimono that was there. She's like, for my friends, I want to know who or what he really is. Is he a human or is he yokai? And of course, Madara tries to keep Natsume out of it. He's like, we shouldn't get involved. This should not involve us. And I feel like when they talk about Natsume being innocent and that being potentially harmful, yeah, Natsume should stay out of this, because if he keeps drawing attention to himself. But on the same end of that argument, while I do agree with Madara that Natsume staying out would have kept him safe for a while, the fact that Nanase and them were closing in, I think they were going to meet no matter what. And I'm glad that Natsume stands up for himself and what he believes in this. And then, yeah, he says, say I get involved. What if I implicate Toko and all them? He thinks about that, and that's why I was like, ugh, you're going to get them all involved. He's like, what should I do? They're going to get implicated because of all this. And then what is Natsume going to do? I don't want him to run away. But she's like, you don't have to get involved if you don't want to. And then she's like, the people that were attacked, they're basically her found family. So that's why she's involved. And Natsume, of course, understands the concept of found family, because the Fujiwaras, his friends at school, Madara, they're all the same. They're not, the Fujiwaras are distantly related, but not immediately, and no one else is biologically related to him. So yeah, he knows exactly what that feels like. It's just, And then, yep, He's like, you're a lot different from Reiko, who is always playing the fool. I think that's interesting that Madara points that out, where Reiko would shrug it off and be like, I'm not involved. I don't know what you're talking about. But Natsume is different from Reiko. He's such an empath. He wants to get involved and he doesn't want to let things go. It's like, this episode just made my stomach lurch because I'm like, I don't want the Fujiwaras and Natsume to be separated. I don't want that, but we have 4 more seasons, so it's like something's gonna have to happen. Anyway, so he goes around trying to find about a human taking blood from yokai, and I like the little kappa. He gets the water and he sees the rabbit spirit and all of that. It's super cute. And he's like, I've seen a yokai's blood be taken. There's this big shadow, and then the man who's a human. So then we see the man with the umbrella, parasol, the eye patch, and everything. And Madara immediately recognizes him as someone who's really strong. I just am terrified of, like, Matoba seems really strong and just, like, very... Notori is an actor, and Notori is very smooth and suave, but he's kind of dorky underneath it, and he's just like, wow, hey, and Natsume and him get along really great. Matoba seems like the type of person that will do whatever he wants to get what he wants, and he's a lot less subtle, and I'm like, I don't know how to feel about that. I feel like he would not jive with Natsume, but who knows? I thought that a lot of the henchmen used by the Exorcist, they look like No Face from Spirited Away. They really did. Also just coming out with these damn knives out of nowhere, just about to stab Natsume. Like, what the fudge? There was a bit of violence in this episode set that I was like, oh, okay. But yeah. So then, of course, who could this man with this giant parasol be? But of course, Junichi Soabe, who has come here. And then here he is. The Matoba Exorcist. They use yokai as bait. And then he thinks of the one that's the crow. Of course. And he has, like, the red eye. He has the long hair. He has we'll talk about the inscription, the curse on the eye, the right eye and everything. Junichi Soabe, if you don't know him as a voice actor, he's been in a lot of anime. He's Aomine in Kuroko's Basketball. He's Sukuna in Jujutsu Kaisen. He's in a lot of different anime. But here's 2 things you need to know about Junichi Soabe. He likes to play super badass, really cool characters. And he's a whore. So when he was voicing this character, I'm like, oh, so 2 things. 1, he's going to be really badass and super powerful because Junichi Soabe does not play non-powerful characters, but also he's kind of a man whore. So this guy's probably going to go after Natsume. And by the end of the episode set, when he was like, I find Natsume very interesting, I'm like, Notori, you better batten down the hatches. Notori, you better get all of your stuff in gear because this man's going to be coming for your boo. Book of boyfriends. I was like, oh my God. It's only a matter of time. But we're not there yet. Who knows? Maybe he won't, but I have a feeling. So anyway, Natsume's like, what the fudge? Natsume's like, I'm just a typical 15-year-old trying to, like, live his life. I don't know why we gotta be this way. So he wants to chat with him, but then our poor yokai, chicken yokai, gets her wing hurt, and she manages to, like, get him away from the scene. I love that she tells him to drop Madara, being like, drop the sandbag, and he's like, are you kidding me? So then Notori shows up, because of course Notori shows up, and they manage to go back into this little hut, and Haragi's there to help heal the yokai. I love that Notori, he's like, servants of Matoba leave. He's a friend of Notori. I love it. I love that, where he's like, he's my friend, y'all, so just leave. And Natsume is like, what is going on? He's like, you're forbidden to touch him. And Natsume's like, excuse me? What's going on? Natsume's book of boyfriends. Yep, go back and tell your master. I did kind of want to ship Notori and Haragi after this, because, we'll put this on here, a little ship with Haragi. Because he ended up wanting to keep her safe, when he kept her with the yokai, that's like the chicken yokai, when he kept her instead of going with him back to the inn, the reason for that is that he knew that Matoba, one, has no qualms with hurting other yokai. He shot a damn arrow at Madara. He don't care if he hurts them, even if they're connected to humans. He's like, nope, if they're not useful to me, I don't care. So he was willing to shoot an arrow into a yokai, and Natori probably did not want to put Hiragi at risk, but also because he wanted Hiragi to stay with the other one, with the other yokai. He wanted to keep her safe. So I was like, that's really sweet, actually. And after seeing the one witch go crazy, losing her yokai servant, then it's, yeah, these exorcists, some of them develop bonds with the yokai, kind of like Natsume's developed with Madara and the others. And other exorcists are just trying to use the yokai. So the man-made yokai was crazy. The idea that they can make the paper masks and they absorb energy to become yokai, like a man-made ghost, that's crazy world building. I was like, oh, they're like weak, but there's a bunch of them, so they're easy to make. That's insanity. I was like, what? So yeah, he's like, there's a reason for concern. He's like, well, let's just investigate and I'll help you. And he's like, sure, you know. He's like, let's just go. Basically, Natori just wanted to take Natsume on a date. He wanted to take him on a date, take him out to eat. Oh, we'll go hunt for yokai in the meantime. But let's be real. He was taking him on a damn date. And he's like, I agree with Natsume, though. I thought that Matoba was going to be an old man. I thought he was at least going to be in his 30s. But he's literally like in his probably 20s. And he's the leader. So, yeah. He looks ridiculous with his eye patch, long hair. And I'm sure, I like that Natori says, I'm sure he has his reasons. So the long hair means you can negotiate when you're making a contract with a yokai. Okay, so let's establish that. Long hair is useful for a contract with a yokai. Well, Reiko had really long hair, so she could have made contracts. I'm curious about that, because Natori spouts off this world building that has no context prior, and we're just like, oh, you don't say. And Natsume's like, wait, what? So yeah, you can make a contract with the yokai with long hair. Okay. And he's like, the eye patch, I'm sure there's a reason. So that was Natori very subtly being like, what now? And he's like, I'll find out by tomorrow. For now, let's just call it a day. But of course, Natori, I like that Natori and Matoba both have red eyes. I find that interesting. But I like that Natori's like, yeah, so things are not what they seem. The idea of him standing in front of the billboard that is of himself that says unloved is the saddest thing ever. I felt so bad for Natori. I was like, I like Natori. He's a great character, but I like him. And I was like, oh, no. And the whole unloved there, I'm like, he also is a singer. What? But anyway, him and Nanase have this conversation. And during this conversation, she's like, oh, well, you took one of our jobs, which was the whole well job with Kai, which in hindsight, glad that Natori took the Kai job. Because could you imagine if Matoba had taken it? That would have been insane. She was like, that's uncharacteristic of you. And he's like, I didn't make a mistake. I just sealed the gateway where they were appearing from. And he's like, well, I'm not as powerful as Matoba clan. There's only so much I can do. And she's like, well, you're trying to hide something. And he's like, well, what's there to hide from the great Matoba family? She's like, oh, really? And she's like, you just want to keep us away from that town. And I'm like, oh my God, no, that's terrifying. And yeah, at that moment, I was like, they're going to come and just wreck shit and make things a horrible situation for the Fujiwaras. Because then not only is she like asking about him being Reiko's grandson, she's like, where does he live at? I'm like, well, don't tell him his private address. What the fudge? So yeah, they're going to come barging into his front door, revealing that he can see yokai. They're going to make a whole mess of this. And I'm like, no, leave him alone. And yeah, just like our chief is on a job in that town and he's very short-tempered. Don't make him mad. I like the transition from Natori there. I think it's the author. I don't think it's, I think it's the author's intention to make Natori and Natsume look so similar in that moment, if I'm being honest. because they do look a lot similar there. And maybe Notori is trying to keep Natsume from dealing with a similar situation. I don't know. The tiny yokai that is just wandering around, the man-made one, like when Natsume like wakes up and it's there and it's like trying to stab him. Excuse me. That was terrifying. I was like, no, thank you. But yeah. So I also like the foreshadowing that we got where Madara said that because his energy was really strong, it was able to influence the man-made yokai. That was a nice little foreshadowing to his blood influencing and waking up the one spirit, which we'll talk about when we get to episode 7. But yeah, so Hiragi's stuck there. Notori didn't call her back. And what I like about it is that Natsume's like, oh, why would Notori do all this work for a yokai? And Hiragi's like, well, you're helping too, aren't you? And then Natsume's like, well, Notori's not like me though, right? And Hiragi says, well, he probably thinks he's responsible. So he's trying to take responsibility. And so Madara's like, if we're going to back out, now's the chance. But then that's when Notori shows up. Matoba, he's no good. Yeah, I think what's interesting about this scene too is the idea that Natsume doesn't think that Notori is capable of being compassionate towards yokai. But as we've learned throughout this series, people do change and they develop, like episode 2 or 3 where the one guy from Natsume's elementary school comes over. Like, he changed from being how he was back when they were kids. So who's to say that Natsume can't have an influence on Notori to make him a better person? My only hope is in Natsume's book of boyfriends that he not only influences Notori to become a better person, but maybe Matoba, who scares me to death, maybe Natsume will influence him in a good way and change him in a positive light. But that's getting the cart before the horse. We're going to talk about them in a little bit. So anyway, Notori takes him on another date. They just go into town, go to a restaurant, go check things out, have just the most fun time. The one thing that creeped me out was when they said it looked like a trap. I thought that in the window behind Notori, I thought that was Matoba with his hair down. But no, it was the witch, right? So then they end up going to the end and they find out there's been a landslide and they're stuck there overnight. Make up whatever fan fiction you want to. Although no, Notori is older than Natsume. Natsume's underage. We can't have any of those fan fictions. It's like the one time that there was one bed would be applicable, it doesn't work because there's too much of an age difference right now. Anyway. So no. But yeah, his parents are totally fine, or the Fujiwaras are fine with him staying with Notori because it's Notori. And so then, yeah, sure enough, he tells him to stay there, but what ends up happening? Well, the witch ends up coming in. So then what does she say here? The witch comes in, and I thought it was a yokai too. I didn't realize that she was human, but she pops in through the window, which now it all makes sense that it's a yokai because there was so much rain. If it was a yokai, it'd just be a spirit, but since it was a human body tramping in all the rain, that makes sense. Yeah. And then she says, what's your motive? I'm sick and tired that you're always nearby. If you get in our way again, for Matoba's sake, I'll take your blood for the ritual too. Okay, that makes more sense. And then she drags him away because he has all the spiritual energy and puts him in the storage room. Okay, nope, that makes sense. But then look who shows up. Who happens to show up but then our sweet, sweet, sweet Matoba. So anyway, that's episode 7. And then we go back to that's episode 6. Then we go to episode 7. Oh my God. So we have Natsume, who is tied up right now by Matoba. Meanwhile, I like that Notori wears his glasses or doesn't wear his glasses. They're almost like fake. He just doesn't wear them all the time. Also trying to fake out the landlady by saying that Madara was a plush, and then later she's like, that is most certainly a cat, sir. I love that during all of the tension and zaniness, there's still time for so much humor. It's great. So one thing that does keep me very interested is that Notori has like the gecko yokai that's on his skin. And he talks about the Matobas using dangerous yokai for their own purposes. And he's like, and that's when Madara says, so that's why you left the Matobas, because you didn't want Hiragi to be used. And he's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, your own yokai. And he goes, oh, well, there's no real reason. I'm like, no, because you didn't want to end up like the witch losing your yokai like she did. No, that all makes sense. I like that Madara kind of subtly calls it out, right? It's great. So yeah, so we see the crow, the witch. I love that everything gets connected together, these two episodes. I can see why the mods wanted me to watch these two together, because like the crow feathers, that all gets connected with the witch trying to like reach Natsume through the visions, of course. And so that's when I just love, he like turns around, he's like, oh, hey, like instantly, Suwabe in his voice acting with his beautiful smooth voice, instantly Matoba is trying to like put on the smolder to Natsume. Natsume's like, I'm 15. Leave me alone. And he's like, oh, he's like, normal people can't see that paper. That would be very interesting if you're just sitting there with your arms like this and you couldn't move and nobody knew that there was a piece of paper binding you. What? And so he's like, Matoba-san. He's like, oh, well, the Notori family knows more about that paper than I do. So again, the Notori's barriers, talismans, that's their whole thing. He's like, you should ask them how they do things. And so then Natsume's like, well, why are you doing this? And he's like, well, I haven't done anything, actually. He's like, I just wanted to talk to you. Isn't that what you said? Poor Natsume. Natsume he's just a normal kid going to school, takes the weekend off, gets kidnapped, like you do. Crazy stuff. He's like, but I don't think you'll believe that excuse, will you? You can see them. So then he like points to his eye patch and he's like, I'm sorry they're rough. They're still learning. Like he's still trying to like teach them what to do. He's like, but you ran away. So what now? And Natsume's like, well, Natsume gets straight to the point. He's like, why are you gathering up all this yokai blood? What are you planning to do? And he's like, oh, well, you can break seals binding more powerful yokai with blood. So you can also summon them. So that's why I have it. It's kind of like bait. And that's when Natsume thinks of the crow yokai. And Matoba basically says he's trying to see if the powerful yokai in the forest is something he can use. I like that Natsume says, well, instead of using your blood, you use the innocent blood of yokai. I will say, Matoba did say, he's like, we need yokai blood to summon yokai. So maybe the Exorcist blood wouldn't work, but it's still the principle of it, right? And then Natsume's like, I'll stop you. And I'm like, he basically became Sailor Moon. He's like, in the name of yokai, I will punish you. And Matoba's like, really? He's like, all you can do is see them. What can you do? Which is interesting because as he says, all you can do is see them, he knocks over the coffee cup, right? Because of his depth perception, which depth perception, my ass, he did a hell of a good job with that bow and arrow, but maybe that's not depth perception. So it's funny he says that as he knocks over the cup and Natsume's like, what? And so he says, oh yeah. He's like, my depth perception isn't very good. And he says, your eye. And he says, I can see, but I need this or else my eye will be eaten. So he basically has his right eye guarded. He basically by this talisman. And it's been injured in the past. So then he tells us about what's been going on. And Natsume's like, what are you talking about? And he says there was a man who said he'd give a yokai his right eye in exchange for their service. But in the end, he broke his promise. So for generations, yokai have been after the right eyes of the Matoba clan. So they were basically, their ancestor lied and was cursed. Basically, you know the plot of Holes? Basically, in the plot of Holes, his family was the kind that are still digging, trying to find the jars. So, and then he says, my eyeball is still in its socket, but I have a nasty wound there. And he goes to like show Natsume his wound. He's like, you want to have a look? He goes to show him, and it's like kind of creepy because there's like definitely an invasion of space here. And I'm like, you should leave Natsume alone. He doesn't want to see your nasty eye. And right before he shows him, then he's like, oh, fine, I'll go. I just like that he walks around in a hoodie. Matoba, and then Natsume's like, you need to stop attacking innocent yokai, please. I don't want to have to stop you, sir. Natsume is like the most polite justice warrior we have. And then Matoba says, I just want to have strong yokai to protect people. If that means people hate me or that I pay a price, then that's fine. And that's when Natsume says, oh, he's different than Notori. So basically Matoba is like, I just want strong yokai to protect humans. And he is not afraid of being a demon, and he's not afraid of being the bad guy. Him and Erwin Smith would get along great. So yeah. And Natsume's like, oh, he is not like Notori-san at all. He's an exorcist, but he's very different from what he's experienced. And then, yeah, just sitting there, just up against the door frame. Don't mind me. He was putting a smolder on Natsume every 5 seconds. I'm like, Natsume, leave him alone. And then he's like, if you try to get away, I'll make it to where you won't be able to do anymore. And Natsume's like, I'm glad the Book of Friends was left out of this episode, because honestly, I was really worried. I was really worried the Book of Friends was going to get involved in this. I was going to be like, that's the last thing we need. But that's the other thing I'm afraid of too, is in the manga, Notori knows about the Book of Friends. He has to at this point. But right now in the anime, Notori doesn't know technically about it. But I'm afraid that they're going to find out about the Book of Friends, and that's going to be a problem. So he manages to get away, thankfully. And I like that Natsume is like, bye, bitch. As he goes to the window, I think that's the moment that Matoba really became like interested in Natsume, was in that moment that he jumped out the window. And he was like, oh, well, I guess I'm going to have to come chase after you. And Natsume's like, nope, bye. Into the trees we go. I'm going to get a shot of him like jumping out the window. And Matoba's like, no, my potential boyfriend. I'm like, leave Natsume alone. He's got to grow up first. And then that's when he's like, oh, it just took one strike. One hit was all it took. I thought he was only capable of seeing them. And they're like, should we follow him? And then he's like, no. Yeah, so again, I feel like Natsume has the ability to actually physically hurt the yokai, and that's not something that all of them can do. So anyway, we go back to Natsume. We have this moment with Hiragi and the one spirit, and Hiragi makes her stay and is like, where the hell are you, Notori? Meanwhile, Notori and Madara are having their own adventure. I like that Notori has upgraded. He's no longer shady guy Notori, but screw up Notori. Oh, screw up Notori. Oh my gosh. Look, everybody, it's the Exorcist screw up Notori. Oh my God. I love it. It's great. But these two buffoons, I could watch them all day. They need a spinoff. But anyway, so Natsume gets drugged down into the cave. He gets drugged down into the cave by like every yokai. By everyone. Every season. And the witch, she ends up saying that she's going to summon this powerful spirit to potentially get revenge on Matoba. So there's that. But yeah, the whole cave scene was just crazy. The fact of her trying to get revenge, the fact of her collecting all the blood, the giant ass yokai that's huge. And then of course, we find out that she was in love with the crow yokai the Matoba clan killed and used as bait. And so Natsume feels like I feel like Natsume, he kind of understands where the witch is coming from and he feels for her. But also Natsume's like, I wouldn't be, getting a blood ritual going to get revenge. Natsume is such a unique character because he definitely is not afraid to scold and he's not afraid to get on to people and be like, what the fudge are you doing? But in the same vein, he also is one of those characters that he wouldn't go out of his way to get revenge or hurt anybody back. He would just like give you a verbal like, you should rethink your actions. And Natsume would rather take action in a way that is positive on his behalf than seek revenge on somebody and try to hurt them. But I felt so bad for Madara getting shot with the arrow. And then, yeah, like, and the thing about it is, like, the arrow flying through the air, Madara was going to get hurt. And Natsume, even though Madara is huge, he still jumps in the way and takes the arrow. And then, oh my gosh, the way that Madara, like, his face when he gets, it's not that Madara had that face when he got the arrow, but seeing Natsume get hurt, oh no, Madara was gonna throw down. And I feel like in that moment, that was Madara being like, I'm not mad because you ate my potential dessert. I'm mad because you hurt Natsume. And that's the thing. So Matoba says it was difficult to find where this yokai was. He says anytime something happened, I would have someone go and investigate the yokai. So the one yokai, she was part of it and just didn't realize it. And then here we go. And I had my servant search the forest many times. But here we are. And then he used the tracking device on Natsume. But, oh, poor Natsume. And what does he say there? He's like, you found it right for me right away. And then at that point he says, you might be. And I guess what he's trying to say is you might be useful, is what I think he was saying in that moment. I feel like that's another reason why I'm terrified, because I feel like that Matoba is going to be like, well, you're really good at finding yokai and you can see them and you're good at detecting them. So you could work for me and make this a lot easier for me. Even though Natsume wants nothing to do with it, he feels like he could probably manipulate Natsume to make this happen. But oh my gosh, Madara being pissed is something that I did not think we were going to see. And he's like, prepare. He was like, my name is Madara, Nyanko Sensei. You hurt my fellow human. Prepare to die. And then poor Natsume telling him to, like, stop it. Oh, and he says, calm down, Sensei. And he talks him down. Oh, that look when he, like, looks down at him and then pops back like, fine. And of course, Matoba's like, oh, how boring. That's boring. You turn back into a little cat. And then, you know, Matoba's like, well, this wasn't worth my time at all. But yeah, so then the blood summons the yokai. He comes back in. The witch is like, go attack Matoba. Doesn't work out for her. She gets yeeted to the other side of the cave. And of course, as Notori and them are escaping, Natsume tries to help her up. And Notori's like, you're just too nice. You know, I thought that Notori would be the biggest problem we'd have with the Exorcist. Oh no. Oh no. So they managed to get out of the cave. No, like, it's going to be bad if it gets on the surface. We should try to seal it. But then Matoba says an exorcist falling in love with a yokai. And then doing something so stupid and rash. And now this. Ugh. And then he looks back there and keeps walking on. I can't use that yokai, so I'm leaving. But he decides that Natsume is interesting to him, so he'll stick around just long enough to get rid of the yokai so that Natsume can live to fight another day. Yeah. So yeah, Natsume and Notori go to try to seal the yokai, and around while they're doing that, Nanase is like, oh, can we use the yokai? And he's like, no. He says it can't speak, so we can't make a contract with it. And it's too powerful for me to deal with a spell. And then he says it's too strong for me to make it obey with a spell. Oh, so Matoba could have killed the yokai all along, but he wanted to use it first and then deemed that it was unworthy or unusable. And he's like, and the poison would be a lot to deal with. And she's like, oh my. He's like, Notori probably went to seal it away. And she's like, oh, Notori. So I teased him a little and he came running. What a child. So as they're about to go and get this done, then, of course, it doesn't go well. And Natsume is about to get eaten by the yokai. And then look who comes, but Matoba back. And he basically exorcises it. Which is crazy. It just disintegrates it. And of course, Natsume's like, we were just trying to seal it, and you just murdered it in front of us. And then, of course, Notori's like, well, shit. And then they both look at me. He's like, if you don't need a yokai, then don't spend time on it. Blast it to nothingness. He's like, I don't care about the yokai or that woman. It's so crazy. You have Notori over there supporting Natsume up, you know, and then you have Matoa being like, I don't like yokai. I'm going to be a tsundere because that's what my voice actor is great at. Like, yeah, what a bitch. He's just like, he's like, but you're interesting, so I don't want you to die. And I'm like, And he's like, we'll meet again. And I was like, please don't. Not anytime soon. Please let Natsume. I don't want him to show up before Natsume tells. Natsume's going to have to tell the Fujiwaras about what's going on. He's going to have to at this point. He's going to have to tell them what's going on, explain that to them, and they're going to have to all work it out before he shows back up. Because otherwise, he's going to show back up and it's going to be a problem. And of course, Natsume feels bad for the witch. And when Notori's like, you know, there's nothing you can do, the yokai is gone. And she's like, well, that's easy for you to say. She's like, I lost these yokai that I cared about. What about you? And poor Natsume, just seeing how much emotion she shows in that moment. And he's like, well, that makes him all the more interesting that he's Reiko's grandson. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm like, just stay away from him. Leave Natsume alone. Oh, and then, little Madara bandaged up with Natsume. Like, Natsume got hurt. Like, legit hurt. And Notori's like, well, I'll have my clan take care of the rest of it. Oh, it's so sad. Like, it's so sad in that little moment. I don't like seeing Madara be wounded. But I do want to get a screenshot of it. But yeah, so things are getting more complicated as we see. And then we see Hiragi. Come back. Oh, Madara cuddled up next to him. Yeah. And he's like, can't they see it? The pain of a yokai doing all she can to protect her friends. Or the pain of someone who's bonded with a yokai was so deep that when it was lost, her heart broke. And he's like, these people, they don't care if they hurt someone as long as they get what they want. And then I like what Notori says to him, because Natsume is like, these people are awful. They're just using people and hurting them without caring about anything that happens to them. And Notori's like, part of growing up is meeting people that are assholes. And Notori's like, part of growing up is realizing that you're going to run into these people. You don't need to bother yourself with them. He's like, some people are like that. And that's so true. He's like, that's all there is to it. And that's so true. Some people are genuinely just assholes like that. And they're going to be the worst people to deal with. He's like, but they exist. And he's like, and they think that they're right. And they don't see a problem with what they're doing. And he's like, those are the worst people to deal with. And then Natsume's just like, well, he's like, that's right. I have Sensei and Notori and Hiragi. I like that moment. And then when he's like he hugs Madara there. And he says, I'm different from them. That makes me a little bit scared too, because I'm like, he says he's different from them. Is he going to be put in a situation where it could possibly lead him to be like them? I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Oh my God. There's so much that this episode brought up. There's so much that it brought up. There's so much. And I'm like, I am honestly terrified for the future, but these episodes were great. They were some of the most tense we've seen so far. And it's going to be hard to wait till the next one. And plus, next week's the Rule of 8. Next week is the 8th episode of season 3. So Rule of 8. Rule of 8. I am really hyped to see what we get next week. So, Anyway. I'm so curious to know what your thoughts are down below. I know it's going to be really hard to not spoil as to what Matoba's trajectory is going to be in this show. Please don't spoil me. I'll find out. We'll be going through each season. Don't you worry. But in any case, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe. Take care. And yeah, I'll be back next week with more of Natsume's Book of Friends. And hopefully it'll be a little bit more carefree than this week, right? I'll see you then. Bye.